When you want only the best for your pet, check out AbbybellPetDesigns.com. We offer quality products such as floppy beds, crate pads, round pet beds, pillow slip covers, belly bands, and more. All products come in a variety of colors and sizes, guaranteed to satisfy your pet's particular style. Your pet deserves to be pampered, so shop at AbbybellPetDesigns.com. If you don't see the item you want listed in our shop, just drop us a line and we'll be glad to make the product of your pet's dreams. AbbybellPetDesigns.com. Good morning, everybody. Hey, Robin. Chezzy. Yoga. We have a lot to cover today. Hey, Danielle. Good Marine Hero. Good morning. How are you? Harley. Noel. Blair. How's everybody? JVA. Cully. Alan. Hopefully I'm not missing anybody. Native, Leo, Mel. We have a lot to cover, so please come in if you will retweet this. You rule, lady. You're cutting out. Well, is anybody else cutting out? Hey, Carmen, good to see you. It may be your connection, Danielle. Just go out and come back in. Good morning, Junior. Marlene, hello. Lately, I can't retweet you. I can only share. I know, Chelsea. Keep the faith. Absolutely, Leo. It's okay. Cool. All right. Let me quickly read to you. And this is Ephesians 6:1. And just going to read a little bit of it. Finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might. Put on the whole armor of God, that you may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. For we do not wrestle against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this age, against spiritual hosts of wickedness in the heavenly places. Therefore, take up the whole armor of God, that you may be able to withstand in the evil day, and having done all, to stand. Yes, thank you, Harley. Hey, Dixie, this was something that I wanted to read today because, quite frankly, with what's going on in the world, we all needed to hear that. We needed to hear about the full armor of God and what's coming. Again, I keep saying this over and over, I know. But, hey, Renee, I want to keep saying this to you. Christian, are you prepared? Are you prepared, Christian? And I think for what's coming, I don't know that any of us are, to be quite frank with you. So let's get into that. We all know about the shooting at the synagogue. Horrible, horrible thing. 11 people are dead. 8 more, I believe, are injured. One of the people that died in that shooting was a survivor of Auschwitz. I mean, not of Nazi Germany. It's hard to even fathom that. You go for 97 years, I think it was. You go through that, you survive that, and then you get killed in a synagogue where you think you're safe. Just absolutely disgusting. Fox just sent out a bulletin: student shoots teacher in classroom. Oh my God! There was also another shooting this morning in Butler High School in North Carolina. Let me just cut to the chase for a minute, and then we'll go back and giving the news like everything's normal. All of this stuff that's happening, I know. Here we go again, Barbara. I know all of this stuff is happening. This is absolutely the left at its best that you're seeing. I used to not believe in things of this nature. Democrats are determined to upset the balance. Yep. And I used to just not believe that people could be this deceitful, this conniving. And I'm not, hey, Wayne, I'm not saying that they're, I won't even say what I'm thinking. Anyway, this is too much of a coincidence, all of this happening. It's too much about the bombers. It's too much about the shooting. All have armed guards at banks, not schools. Yeah, that's true, Brad. Go figure. Why you're more worried about your money and protective of your money than you are your children. I mean, that's the kind of the point. Hey, Dixie Doodles. But to know that this all is happening, it's godless people. It sure is. Democrats are evil, Danielle said, but we do not start the fire. It was already burning. Nobody, no. Barbara, the fire started a long time ago. The fire started back in the early 1900s. That's where the fire started. Hey, Kim. And the fire keeps on going, and the fire keeps on brewing. Um, but to have all this stuff happening, and now there's another suspicious package that has been delivered to CNN today, and we have been told about how, we're going to on Facebook and Google and Twitter. We want to make sure that there's everybody's safe and that speech is safe and that everybody's protected and blah blah blah. So what happens? I don't know if you heard about this or not, but Gab has been taken down. Gab was this guy who's allegedly shot up the people in the synagogue. He was posting anti-Semitic posts on Gab. And, Gab is one of those platforms where you like to allow people to say whatever they want, and you can censor them if you want. If you don't like that, then you can censor them yourself. Well, apparently not. Gab was very cooperative, supposedly, with the FBI. And I know they came out on Periscope and said, hey, look, we've been cooperating. We didn't wait for them to contact us. We contacted them. And so, well, Danielle said Gab was letting porn on. Well, wasn't Twitter and Periscope? I mean, I know that I came upon porn on both of those platforms and was absolutely shocked. But yeah, so Gab was also told, I read a post saying that GoDaddy, who was their provider, said they were going to take them down unless they got somebody else. Yeah, Robin said Facebook lets porn on. Hey, Monica. And so, Robin, hey, so they were told, go to a new provider or we're going to shut you down. Well, apparently, they've just been shut down. And they said, now I'm talking about Gab, they're saying that it may be weeks before they're back up. That they're just, they're just gone. But look at Gab. Look at the trouble that Gab has had from the very, very beginning. They weren't able to, hold on one second. Gab wasn't able to get permission, if you will, by Apple to have an app on the phone. Android gave them an app, but iPhone wouldn't do it. Thank you, Harley Guy. I'm trying this morning. And so right from the beginning, this was somebody that looked very. It was a threat to Facebook, a threat to Twitter. And so what did they do? They shut them down. Now, Renee said Android removed them as well. Twitter had a bad picture of Melania this morning. It was disgusting. And nobody does anything. And listen to this. You still have Louis Farrakhan on Twitter who called Jews termites. But for some reason, that's okay. And he can still be on Twitter. But Gab, and I don't know that I necessarily agree with all the stuff that's on Gab, but knowing that I can self-censor, if I don't want to see pornography, on Gab, I can just block it. I've blocked people on Gab because I don't like what they're saying. If they're discriminatory, racist, or whatever, hey, Alexis, I just block them. Hey, Molly. But to go out and block an entire platform because of what one person did, then you're going to block the entire platform right around the corner to the election. Yeah, you can do that, Renee, on Twitter. You can do that on Facebook. So if you can do that on Twitter and Facebook, how come they're still up? And Wayne said porn on Facebook. Don't go over there, Wayne, and check it out. Australian version of Twitter. Yeah, I think they came up. Doesn't Gab have their platform sort of out of Australia? And I guess there was another person I just heard, like the executive CEO or whatever. One person in Gab just resigned today because they said, we've been under attack for 2 years and I can't take it anymore. It's taken a personal toll. I don't know who that was. I've got more people blocked on Scope than all the friends I've got on every social media. Yeah. They have to move host out of the United States. Yeah, Renee? And you know, that's the thing. It's just like Periscope, you get sex bots following you around. I have to go and block those sex bots every single day to try to send people over to porn. And I've got to block them. They follow me every day. It's especially seeing Tommy Robinson in UK. It's coming here too. Oh, it's already here, Dixie. Robin said, this is so disturbing, so much for free speech. Um, you know, newsflash, our free speech is practically gone. Media is colluding with Democrats to win the election. They are, Molly, they are. I had to block 6 sex bots this morning, Chesney said. Yep. You know, the thing of it is, and some people have already talked about this, and it's absolutely true. When this election is over, no matter which way it comes out, these people aren't stopping. You know that, right? The globalists, the liberal left, they're not stopping. Problems with early voting already in Texas, yeah. There's another bot. There was, there's already been problems in Texas. On the upside, it means they're really, really desperate. Yeah. But we know that, Monica, and we know where this is going. No, this is war, Mike said. Well, it shouldn't have to be war. How is it left supports Linda Sarsour and anti-Semite? Yeah, exactly. Is Linda Sarsour still on Twitter? Does she still have her check mark? It's only going to get worse, like you said, Chesney said. Yeah, it is only going to get worse. I mean, it really will. These people, you don't understand. This isn't about politics for them. This is a spiritual battle. Really isn't about politics. It's about taking over. It's about control. It's about globalism. It's about open borders. You voted Saturday. Good, Wayne. That's what it's about. It's about domination. That's right, Harley Guy. And it's biblical in that the Bible tells you in Revelation and other sections, this is where it's going. This is what we're going to see. It's not going to get better. If you think it's going to get better, I'm sorry, it's not. And I'm not trying to be like, you know, Debbie Downer on Monday, but I'm also about telling you the truth. And I'm here to tell you it's not going to get better. We're not going to suddenly turn the country around. Yes, I listened to the Roach speech for myself, was shocked he's still up. Straight Republican here, Cully said. Truth is truth. Nope, it's reality, Carly Guy said. Yeah, I mean, exactly after we win the midterms, they're really going to be worse. Yep, you said to vote Democratic. Right. Yeah, Wayne. Susan Downer on Tuesday. Yeah. No, it's Susan. Susan's telling you the truth, the way I see it. We got the caravan coming to the city. Yeah, there's a new caravan that's joined the one in El Salvador. Can we tweet or get USA flag on all social media for the next week? It promotes conservatives. Laura Loomer crying on, it was Saturday, wasn't it, Barbara? Yeah, it was on Saturday. It was after the shooting at the synagogue. She was crying, and I've never seen Laura go on Scope and cry, and she was crying because of the fact, you know, that Jews are hated in America and around the world. They are. They're always talked down about, disparaged. They're treated like crap. It's just the same label that the left is giving President Trump, that he's responsible for every bad thing that happens in the world. That's the way some people see the Jews. And it's absolutely ridiculous. And I sympathize. I can't empathize with Laura. I don't know what she's going through as a Jew, but I can certainly sympathize with what she's going through. It's horrendous. She should not be treated that way. Jews should not be treated that way as a group. Nobody should be treated that way. Forgive the English. Exactly after we win. Yep. Dixie Susan sees my mistakes all the time when I type. Robin said, I watch Laura too. It hurts my soul. I know. Chesney should. Jews should be protected. Everybody in America, Danielle, should feel protected. They're God's people. No wonder. I know. I think I told you this, was a Muslim woman on Twitter was just talking down about, you know, Allah is going to come and take care of the Jews and, you know, what horrible people the Jews were. And I told her, I mean, it was all I could do to compose myself. And I said, may God forgive you for your something like, may God forgive you for your hatred and for the hatred of his chosen people. And somebody said to me, wow, you're so nice, Susan. Why are you so nice like that? And I'm like, well, because this is something I'm supposed to do for God, to try to bring people to God. And what I want to say is something totally different that I probably shouldn't put on Twitter in the first place. And so I composed myself to do what I felt that God wanted me to say rather than what Susan wanted to say. And I'm trying to practice that more and more, because as we, again, go down this road, it's very difficult not to almost become filled with hate and filled with just, it's not love, sometimes. And it's just like, why are you people doing that? And you want to go after them. I cried when I listened to Laura, Jew haters are running for Congress. That's true, Molly. But you just want to go after somebody verbally, and give them the what for. And, I don't want to do that. I don't want to become that person. Righteous anger is okay, though. Righteous anger is fine, Marlene. But cussing people out, threatening people, just being all out, just obnoxious, that's not okay. That's not righteous anger. That was excellent of you. We all need to be like that. Robin, it was difficult. It was absolutely difficult. I wanted to just say some really ugly things. But I didn't. And I think that God is calling me more and more to do those things. We must do what Jesus would do. Yep. Block, switch, fully engaged. Yeah. They're just not going after Jews. It's Christians too. I'm heartbroken over the Jewish people. They died because of the disgusting Jew hate. Yeah, just know they are going after Christians. They right now the focus is on Jews, but it will be on Christians even more and more amped up. Don't ever forget what Hillary Clinton said before 2016 when she said, something to the order of Christians just going to need to expand their minds and get over themselves because they've got to change. All right. Susan, I believe the devil is at work in this country. Harley, you can take that to the bank. Yes. And I heard JD yesterday and saying that he feels that the country has been turned over to that. So, and that's not good, but I don't disagree with him, because what we're seeing now is hate times 1,000. And one of the things that that I've noticed is that, people, a long time ago, we started with this, you're not responsible for your own actions. Seriously, remember under the former administration, you weren't responsible for anything you did. It was always somebody else's fault about what you did. Well, see, we've taken that to the next level. We do things. Hey, Pat, good morning. We do things now, we meaning the far left over there, not us, and we excuse that behavior because, oh, well, President Trump, his rhetoric, oh, that President Trump, he's making me do that, oh, that President Trump. And if you look back, and I wrote an article today under SusanKnowles.com, it's about how the Democrats now are labeling things. I apologize for being late, crazy talk, no problem, Pat. The Democrats are going after McCarthy, and they went after President Trump. They're going to go after other people, and they're claiming that it's political violence. Now, when they say something, it's political violence. And Tom Steyer, who is a huge billionaire Democratic donor, wants nothing more than to see this election. Thank you, Marlene. Marlene said, good article. Thank you. But they want to see the Republicans lose. So what does he do? He goes on Jake Tapper, and he sits there and has the audacity, Jake does, to say, I heard McCarthy, or I saw his tweet, which McCarthy immediately deleted. And this happened before the shooting at the synagogue. But he said, I saw McCarthy's tweet that said something like, don't let Tom Steyer, Mike Bloomberg, and George Soros buy the election, vote Republican on November the 6th. And he said, I happen to notice that Tom Steyer, you're Jewish, and Mike Bloomberg is Jewish, and George Soros is Jewish. And so, what do you think about that? Well, I think it's all and out anti Semitic political violence that they're speaking. Here's the new thing. Here's the new buzzwords. Anti Semitic and political violence. So now if you disagree with someone and that if they happen to be Jewish and Democrat, then that's going to be used against them. I know, Pat, drama, but drama, they're accusing the right of this hate speech that basically they're doing themselves. Yep, first racism and now this. It's like what anything. Let's see, Robin said not to change. Your daughter and future son-in-law are getting their marriage license right now, getting married Wednesday. I'm so excited. Great, Robin. Congratulations to Robin's daughter who's getting married on Wednesday. Yay. That's very cool. That's good news. And a sea of bad news sometimes. So this is going to amp up, and then you get rid of Gab, you get rid of our way to communicate with each other. They're doing everything that they can to shut it down. Don't anyone dare eat a matzo ball. Yeah. So now if you say anything about George Soros, see, George Soros now is going to be protected because George Soros is a Jew. I'm sorry, I didn't even realize he was a Jew, honestly, until they said that. I thought, because I thought he hated Jews myself. I mean, he hates everyone. So maybe I just assumed that, he wasn't Jewish. I never even gave it thought. And McCarthy didn't either. I thought he was German too, Harley. But I think, what McCarthy was just saying, look at all of these Democrat billionaire with a B, donors, and, don't let him buy the election. Oh, he's Hungarian. That's right, Noel. Thank you. And so he murdered Jews for Hitler, Pamela said. He not really. Alan said he's not really. So now we want to protect George Soros. The Democrats want to protect George Soros. You know why? Because he's giving all of this money for them to do whatever they want to do. Soros is a Jew in name only, somebody said, and he was recruited by the SS to turn in the Jews. He's disgusting. He's disgusting. But now we want to look at him as, oh, well, he's Jewish, so we can't talk about him. I thought Soros was a Nazi as well, Star. I mean, if you would have asked me, that's what I would have said. George Soros helped take away his fellow Jews for the Nazis. Yeah, Nikolai, disgusting. But, oh, he's a Jew, so we can't talk about him and talk about how he donates money to the Democrats. I mean, come on. Robin says Soros is a Nazi. Yeah. He became one early in his teens. And he goes in and he destroys whatever country he doesn't like. That's what he does. He's always done that. And he's trying to do that to America. And he's doing a pretty decent job of it. Hey, Ann, how are you? You can be Jewish heritage, but not a religious Jew. There you go. That's right, Marlene. He's a Jew in name only, I guess. Yeah. So, I mean, 3 countries did not allow him in, Barbara said. Yeah, we should be one of them. We should have other countries that don't, whatever. But I guess my point is, for you guys, we're in some really, really, really serious times, with more serious times coming, with, I fear, more violence coming from the left. We are, 8 days away now, something like that, from the election, maybe less. Do you really think they're not going to do anything else before the election? I heard he has a dual citizenship with the states, probably, Kim. Trump should keep him from coming in, Robin said. It's like saying you are a Baptist because your parents were, but you never were baptized or saved, Barbara said. Yeah, true. So I guess what I'm saying to the Christians and the believers, you got to keep praying. We are in a bad place. Talking about the bomber guy, that was so contrived. A lot of people were saying too that in Florida, you can't change he couldn't have changed his party to Republican if you're a felon. And so, all of that's contrived. That it is. And then the guy goes out in the synagogue, anti-Trump stuff all over his social media, Do they mention that on the news? I think I heard that one time. You're on an hour earlier here. We changed our clocks yesterday morning. I was surprised when alert came up. Oh wow. Yeah, we're gonna be changing our clocks, I think November 4th. You can't vote if you're a felon in Florida. Yep. Funny how he voted though, Marlene, right? And he's a Republican and all that stuff. So yeah. Soros said on 60 Minutes years ago that he is godless. Gary, I would have to say that's the one time I agree with George Soros. Florida has voting problems. Yeah, just like California. The Fort Worth paper did not endorse Ted today, so darn mad this is a Ted town. Well, I hope you cancel your paper if you're getting the Fort Worth paper and you call and give them a piece of your mind. Because again, we can't just sit silently anymore and wait for this stuff and go, oh well, they didn't support Ted, so but whatever. No, I'm done. I'm done with people doing that stuff. I'm going to do everything legally, morally, and ethically that I can until whatever happens in this world. Soros talks about wanting to be God in his book. Jeez. Ugh. All I know is that he is absolutely just evil. Absolute evil. In other news, the Pentagon, just before we went on, they are going to be sending 5,000 people, 5,000 active duty military to the border, to the Mexico border. I'm not sure with all these voting issues we aren't going to be in trouble on November 7th. Harley, I don't know. God is still in control. All you can do is pray that God is still in control. Whatever God wants to have happen, that's what it's going to be on November 7th. You have to go out and do your part, and everybody else has to go vote for Republican, and then God is going to control the rest. It's just like with President Trump. President Trump would never have gotten in, but for God. I am convinced of that. I know many of you are too. So, you have to you give it to God. All you can do is all you can do. I mean, the evil that we're seeing, again, I think the ultimate thing when God said, are you prepared, Christian? If you go and read what is coming, we sit here now and we're thinking, wow, things are bad. God tells us over and over again, do not fear. Yes. We sit here and think, things are pretty bad. This is horrible. Do you know how much worse things are going to get? I mean, if you read the Bible, this is nothing compared to what it's going to be. What are these troops going to be able to do? Harley Guy said, Harley, I don't know. I don't know if they're going to be just setting up fences and barricades. I have no idea. And they're not really saying. They're not really saying. So, but again, we need to pray for the president especially because these people are out to get him. Whether it's remove him from the office legally, physically, or otherwise, that's what they want. He's a nationalist. He is standing in their way. This is going to get ugly quickly, I fear. It already has, Harley, and it's getting even uglier day by day. Robin said, praying for Trump. You just turn on the news and every 5 minutes something has happened. We must hold fast to our faith in Jesus. True believers will spend eternity with him. Exactly. 2,000 National Guard and 800 military. I heard 5,000 from the Pentagon, so I don't know, Pat. While we're preoccupied with politics, Saudi Arabia is about to build a city around Mount Sinai. They want that, but I don't think the majority of the people want that. No, Chesney, it doesn't matter what the majority of people want. It doesn't matter. When you're not following the law and you're not playing by the rules, yes, they're heading to the borders. Gidget. I hadn't heard today, crazy morning. Yeah, I know, Pat. I just heard that right before we went on. It said 5,000, Pentagon ordering 5,000 to the border. And that's all I got, so. Kellyanne did a smackdown for sure this AM. She didn't hold back. Yeah, and immediately, of course, they went after Kellyanne. I'm all on the Trump train now. No turning back, Robin said. Yeah. When you see what this man is going through, when you see the hatred, and again, I was explaining to Chesney, it doesn't matter, Chesney, what the majority of the people want, what is right and what is wrong. We don't have that anymore when you're looking at it from the left's perspective. It is, what do I want? What can I do to further my agenda? And they will do whatever it takes. just because they bring impeachment against the president doesn't mean he'll ultimately be impeached. However, if the House and the Senate are controlled by the Democrats, then he's absolutely going to be impeached. Sheep and goats, Alexa said. And that's why it's important everybody needs to go out and vote Republican to assure that they're not going to take our president out by impeaching him, rightfully or wrongfully. And it would be wrongfully because there's nothing to impeach him on. But again, when you don't follow the rules, when you don't believe in the Constitution, when you believe in lawlessness, look around, then they'll do whatever they do. We the people doesn't mean anything anymore. It should read we the politician. Yep, Carly. What are they going to impeach him on? Chezzy, listen to me. It doesn't matter. They'll make something up if they have to. What did Robert Mueller, what's he been doing for 2 years? He's been investigating a made-up nothing of a story. So you can keep somebody occupied, and you could take somebody and put them on the grand jury for no reason at all. You can just, as they say, trump up some charges. Harry Reid's rules are backfiring. Yeah, Brad? Yep. Harry Reid didn't know he was going to help the Republicans, but in the end, he did. They thought they would always be in control. That's why. Upside down world now. Oh, absolutely. Democrats need all the help they can get. They're having illegals, criminals in prison, and the dead voting for them. Here's some good news out of San Francisco. They spent over $300,000 to get illegals signed up to vote in school board elections, because illegals can vote in school board elections in San Francisco. You can't vote. They can't vote legally in a federal election, but they can in a school board. So they spent $312,000, big website, advertising, getting books together, pamphlets to hand out. Hey, Amber, to get all of these illegals signed up to vote in the schools, and they got 49 people. So thank you, God, for that. Need to turn around, go back to their country, burning the American flag, chanting global citizenry. Yes, Gidget, and that's what the left loves. It's hard for me to throw logic out in this new reality we have, and there you go, Chesney. That's exactly what you need to do. 49. Isn't that great, Cully? In San Francisco, 49. That's God. That's God. And while we're talking about California, as you know, the far, far, far left man who's running for governor of California, Gavin Newsom, I say nuisance, it seems that before he became lieutenant governor of California, he has a lot of business. Wineries, restaurants. Let me see what else if I have this written down. Wineries, restaurants, gosh, there was some other things that he had. Yeah, I didn't, wineries, bars, restaurant, hotels, and liquor stores, okay? And so when he becomes governor, is that who you are voting for? Wayne, hello? Woohoo! Wayne, you didn't get your coffee this morning. He's involved in a lot. Yes, Pat. And so he was made a millionaire by all of these businesses. And somebody was saying to him, Wayne, I'm going to get your wife to tell you to knock it off. Somebody told him, they asked, what are you going to do, Mr. Newsom, if you become governor? Are you going to go ahead and get rid of your businesses? There's the ethics rules that are in violation there potentially. And remember with President Trump, he had to sign over his businesses to somebody else. Yeah, in Florida we got Gillum under FBI investigation. Yeah, nobody's hearing about that, Cully. Nobody's talking about that, mainstream media. It's as though nothing has ever happened. So Gavin Newsom says that he won't sell them because they are his babies. He said that. They are my babies. Remember, we can only type so many letters to reply to you, Susan. That's true. Has anyone heard what we've done so far about the caravan? Are we waiting at the border? Dixie, I just mentioned that a minute ago. Pentagon just announced about I don't know, half an hour ago that we're sending 5,000 down to the border now. Praying for California and the Patriots to arise as one. Oh yeah, please continue to pray for California. We need a Republican governor. We need John Cox for governor. Trump was trying to be forced to close too. Yep, that's right, Gajit. That's exactly what they wanted to do to him. And they're still trying to do it. They are still trying to do it. Breaking: male student shot in North Carolina high school by fellow student has died at a hospital. Suspect in custody. Gary, that happened earlier this morning, about, would have been about 5 o'clock my time, 8 o'clock or so, Eastern Standard Time. So I guess that, yeah, I know the bot even said really, Wayne. I'm telling you, Wayne. So the male student that was shot this morning at, I guess that's Butler High School, Gary is reporting has now died, and that the student who shot him is in custody. Butler High School, Pat. Many on the left hate Gavin Newsom. I'm hoping they will turn into a vote for John Cox. I pray it does, Nikolai. Yeah, so there, I mean, there you go. We just... John Cox for California, and you're not a bot. Who said that? Could you? Yes. Why did he shoot the student? I don't know, Danielle. Probably felt like it, just for, you know, whatever reason. I'm telling you, people, we have come to this place where you're not responsible for your own actions. You look to for somebody else to blame, and you can do whatever you want. You need a drink. I know, Harley Guy. Duct tape or a drink, whatever you need. And that's where we are. That's where we've gotten to. And, you know, this kid whoever that went in, and supposedly it was another high school kid, and went in and shot this guy. You know that kid knew about, you need to put a picture on your feed of it. You know that kid knew about what happened at the synagogue and happened, you know, before, and goes in and does that anyway. What is that? Long before Trump, churches and schools were being attacked, still we do not guard them. Exactly, Barbara. Exactly. And we were also talking about how President Trump, it's his rhetoric and he says all this. Go look at my article today and see all the things that former President Barack Obama said, all those things that violently could incite someone. Again, you're responsible for your own actions, but nobody said anything about him. The media didn't say anything about what he said. The left didn't say anything about what he said, because it was perfectly okay then. You know, they bring a knife, we bring a gun. You know, all of that makes no sense. Oh wait, I can't use sense anymore. That's right, Chizzy. If you stop using logic, you'll understand. And that's exactly where we are. And I mean that. If you stop using logic, you will understand the liberal left. Aren't we clinging to our Bibles and our guns? Yeah. Oh, most churches nowadays need to have common sense, Gajit said. You know, if you could retweet, if anybody can, we're way past that midway point, if you could retweet. Isn't that something he said? Yeah. He did, Harley. And a lot of churches right now, they have armed guards at the churches. We cannot say bad things about Muslims, and we are bad, so no one said a word about Obama, Barbara said, in terms of protection. Trump has not incited violence. Obama did constantly. He tried to make it sound nice, though, and Maxine. Yeah, Maxine, Cory Booker. Who else has said stuff like, you know, go get in their faces, harass them. And yet nobody says a word about that. That's perfectly okay. But again, that's the left. The liberal left points fingers at you for doing accusing you of doing what they themselves are doing. I mean, it's not logical. In 1980s, the church I went to had one guy with a gun. We have a security at my church. It's members of our church, and if armed, you can't tell. Hello, Salazar. Hey, Sylvia, how are you? Just saying. Wayne said, yeah, at the church that I used to go to, a bigger mega church, as you came in, they would look through your stuff. They would look through your your purse or your backpack or whatever you had. And they have people there who are armed. They have to. And I know over the weekend, the guy at the synagogue, no notification, the guy at the synagogue was so upset about the fact that President Trump had said, you need to start arming your synagogue and your churches. He was like, we don't, I heard him say that. I think this was the mayor was talking. I heard him say that, but what we need to do is take the guns away from those who are mentally ill. Yeah, but Renee, searching bags may be too much, but if you don't, and somebody has a gun in there, and they came in there to kill the pastor or other people, I would rather they check my bags. You knew that was coming. Exactly, Harley. When I went to church in Cincinnati to see John Piper Saturday, they had armed police in the church, Robin said. Yep. Video games that kids are growing up with have no consequences or remorse over killing. That's true, Dixie. And, Dixie, another thing that is hurting our country. Yeah, well, there you go, Renee. Who determines who's mentally ill? Well, in California, somebody could call in and say you're mentally ill, and they can come take your guns away because somebody said that. So, everyday average person can do that. My pastor and wife both carry, and I feel very safe there. Good, Sylvia. Trump knows that MS-13, ISIS, and cartel and other gangs are much worse are in the invasion. Of course, Gajit. Of course. And the left knows that, too. Heck, they check your bag at Disney. That's right, Barbara. Every function that we have in California, if you go to a sports function or whatever, they're checking your bag. I don't care where you go. And you know what? I'm okay with that. I usually don't carry a bag, anymore, but I'm okay with that. If it keeps me safe and my family safe, check my bag. Check that person's bag and that, backpack, whatever you got to do. I mean, because in California, it's a gun-free zone. Clear bags only at the TCU games. Yeah. Let me read off some things here, other things that I have. Also, over the weekend, let's see. Oh, this is kind of nothing that they talk about. My liberal friends in LA are not for this. Surprise, surprise, Dims. Yeah. But again, when you're talking about mentally ill people, a long, long time ago, we turned people out on the streets that were mentally ill. And they're still out on the streets that are mentally ill. We don't do enough for the mentally ill. And, nowadays, if you try to help somebody who's mentally ill, I think you're, in the 70s. There you go, Danielle. And people don't like it. They don't want you to help somebody who's mentally ill, unless you give them a lot of drugs, but, you're not really helping them. And not everybody needs drugs. My nephew is mentally ill due to opioids. Oh, that's terrible, Kajit. In Houston, my pastor had an armed concealed guard standing in front of him. So sad it's come to that. Yep, I know. Robin said our church encourages all concealed carriers carry in the church. It's hard to prove or get them off the street. It is, Barbara. And we don't have, let's face it, we don't have enough room. And a lot of people are on drugs. I remember when they closed Dorothea Dix in Raleigh, North Carolina, everyone went on the streets. Yeah, when they closed that down. Yeah. And that was, let's get them back out onto the streets. Hey, Jerry, Susan, what do you think about the death penalty? Harley, I think it needs to be used. When you're going in there, like when President Trump, this guy in the synagogue, he said that should carry a death penalty when you're talking about hate crime and you go in and kill people. And the prosecutors are now looking to charge him with a hate crime. And I say, you got to use it. Scott Adams' stepson recently died from opioids. Yeah, I heard that, Gajit. Harley said, exactly, so do I. We agree with Trump. Yep. It's a hate crime, yep. I mean, there's no deterrent. And listen, can I tell you something? We have, in this country, we have gotten to a point that I think right now that even the death penalty is not a deterrent. I know that may be shocking what I said, but I believe that we've arrived at that point. Mentally ill could use love, not drugs, Gary said. It's a shame that the left isn't getting behind no something because it's Melania's cause. Oh, I'm not sure what that. I can't see that word. It's like got two little semicolons. Death penalty in California is a joke. Yeah. There was a guy in California. You talk about depraved minds. This man in California. This was years ago when California's death penalty was, actually worked. Uh, this guy went and stopped these boys. I don't know if he flagged them down or what, but anyway, he killed them. And then after he killed them, he ate their lunch. And they did put that guy down. Probably not MSM didn't see Gateway Pundit. People don't fear death penalty because they never get put to death. Could be. Ours not used to be as much anymore, Barbara said. It could be, Renee. Yeah, well, and Pat, you look at somebody who kills somebody, they're not in their right minds, typically. Doesn't mean they're mentally ill to the point they don't realize what they're doing. But, if you're killing somebody, you're probably not in your right mind. My gosh, I am not on my iPad today. I can't type. Oh, bullying. Okay. Sorry, Dixie. Sometimes I can decipher, but if I'm going too much at one time, I have to kind of just move on without even deciphering it. There is a tornado warning for Cape Cod and Martha's Vineyard. Not sure. Let's see. I'm not sure they would have shared their lunch, Pat said. What is lamestream media reporting on Trump protecting the borders? It should be 90 days for an appeal. If you lose appeal, then yeah, you should go at that time. In California, they keep them forever. I mean, they absolutely keep them forever, and until they practically die of old age, and then they decide. This was something else that happened. That's a little different. Cape Cod, I know. At Cape Cod and Martha's Vineyard, a tornado is coming that way. This was something else that happened over the weekend, but because it happened on Saturday with the synagogue shooting, this wasn't reported. It's like that in Georgia too, Renee said. A father in Alabama took down a masked man who entered into an Alabama McDonald's and just opened fire in McDonald's. Now, did anybody hear that on the news on Saturday? Did you hear that, Carly? I didn't hear that at all. And so, didn't hear it at all. Enough of letting them sit on death row for years when they know they're guilty. Exactly, Robin. Yeah, I read it today. But, and Harley read it today, but it wasn't on mainstream media at all. So this guy goes in, masked man goes in, starts shooting up an Alabama McDonald's, and this man who was, I think he and his sons were leaving, he turns around and he goes in and he shoots and kills this guy. And he got injured in the process, and I think his son did as well. But we didn't hear anything about that, and really not hearing anything about it today. I thought there was a hurricane coming towards and the caravan path. Gee, that was something that I didn't think was ever coming towards the caravan path, and that thing is just already gone. It didn't make the Alabama news, Pat said. Hey, Jules. Yeah, isn't that funny that, what makes the news and what doesn't? Now, again, because of the shooting in the synagogue, I understand it, but that's important news. That's really important news that happened. We never hear about the good guys that save lives. No, Rob, we don't. And they said in the report, this was on Fox, and they said it's not likely that the father would face charges. Really? You're defending people in McDonald's now calling him a hero, and you bring up the fact, well, he's not going to be charged with any crime. Oh, okay, well, that's good to know. Good to know that at least one state has a brain. He won't face charges in Alabama. Well, he shouldn't face charges anywhere in the United States, Pat, but I think maybe he would in California. It's crazy. Roughly 5,000 troops will be deploying. Yep. That's what I was reporting there, Alan. Pat's in Alabama. Robin said exactly. I shared that on Facebook this AM. Hero dad, too bad him and his son were shot. I know. But hopefully they're going to recover, Marlene. That's good news. Walkaway rally was great news. Yep. Fox just announced 5,000 to the border. Good job, Susan. Thanks, Harley. Now, for you guys in Texas, you may want to call the principal at is it Lufkin Middle School, and I believe that's around the Dallas, Texas area. He's been placed on leave after posting on Facebook. He said, "I worry about the USA looking like Mexico and South America with so many illegal aliens being welcomed to our country. Guess we are doomed to have a dirty country either way." Lufkin, East Texas. So he's on leave now for saying that. Did you see on Twitter Jake Tapper going after Jack Posobiec? No, Lori, I didn't. Jake Tapper is disgusting. Read my article, Lori, on what I wrote over the weekend with Jake Tapper, and you'll know Jake Tapper is disgusting. Seriously disgusting. And so the comments now after that principal said that, people were saying, well, how can he adequately serve the needs of non-whites? Who, Alan? And oh yeah, the principal, absolutely. And then another person asked how he could be suspended when he supports the law of the land. So all of you people in Texas, if you care, call that school and tell them, why are you putting the principal? Why are you suspending that principal for telling the truth? Roughly 100 miles east of Waco, Wayne said. Wow, it's ridiculous. So the guy's free speech. Again, I understand, free speech, if you're working for somebody, it's not as free as when you don't have to work for an employer. An employer could say, you're hurting our business and we're suspending you. So I kind of get it. Barbara said 2 or more hours from where she is. I think they do these things as a test to see how much they can get away with. What town? I'm sorry, I was interrupted. Chezzy said it's Lufkin Middle School, somewhere in East Texas. I think they need 10 times more troops. Gary, I agree with you. And by the time they get here, maybe they will have 10 times more. Angela Merkel said she's going to step down as leader of Germany in 2021. I'm sure that's good news for everybody. Chezzy said, I know where that's at. Did you see the lady convicted in EU calling Mohammed a pedophile? Yep, Marlene, I did. And it is coming to the United States sooner or later. It's almost here right now. They're testing the waters here in the United States to see how much free speech that they can keep you from saying. Yes, and stop them before they get to the border? Absolutely. Lufkin is a nice place, but East Texas is different. Barbara said, troops are good. I hope they were given rules of engagement. I don't know. I'm not sure what the troops are going to be doing. I'm not sure how California is going to react to that. Kellyanne Conway, the left is totally upset with her now because she blamed the shooting in Pittsburgh synagogue as being anti-religiosity. Now, it's funny that the left can say all of this is because of rhetoric coming from President Trump, but when she puts it back on the left and says the reason that all this stuff is happening is because you make fun of people who are religious, this is what happens. Oh, suddenly they don't like it. Suddenly they don't like it. Again, they want to shut your speech down by calling it ridiculous, political violence, anti-Semitic, whatever. Yeah, all of it is to test the waters. It's presidential order. What can California do? It's not what they can do legally, Harley. Again, it's what will they try to do. What will they try to do to prevent people from coming down there? Will they go to court and try to get a TRO, something like that, and take up more time? Now, I think the president, not telling the president what to do, but I think that the president should just go ahead and do what he knows he needs to. Gary said Maxine Waters suggests knocking off Trump, then going after Pence. When did she do that, Gary? Do you have a link where you can show me that? Riot gear, spray them. Barbara said, I heard the invaders are armed, so 50K versus 40K is a bit ridiculous. They may be armed, but I don't know that they're armed with the same type of weapons that the military has. I mean, hopefully not. They got to get across the river here. I think this is just part one of Trump's plan. Harley said, yep. I'm glad we got some time with Trump to see what's going on. President Trump, I don't know if you heard his rally that he went to. I think what was that on Saturday night? he said that he was going to be doing something this week that we would all like. So, and he was kind of talking about the border when he mentioned that. Now, I don't know if he's going to assign an executive order that says all of these people, none of you can come in. That may be what he was talking about and why we would all like it. So I don't know. Yes, he has said it twice this week, Barbara said. Did he say it today or was he in Illinois? Yes, last week. Yeah, shut it down. Harley said, yep. I just tweeted you the link, Susan. Thank you, Gary. I want to take a look at that. Maxine Waters, you know, again, these people have incited, they really have, if they haven't incited violence, they have come so close to it. You like good surprises, Pat said. Yeah, I know. It all runs together lately. I know, Barbara. I'm all for him signing an executive order on this, Robin said. Gosh, so many bots today. I think there's like 1,000 bots in here. Love our law and order president. Yes. So many people, though, are inciting violence on the left. They really are. They're really coming close, if not actually inciting violence, by telling people to get in the faces of other people, you know, harass them, tell them they're not welcome, run them out of the store. And then if Gary, I want to go look at what Gary had said that Maxine said. That's crazy talk. Crazy talk. You know, and all the rhetoric that Trump has said, most of it is about fake news. So now when you have an opinion about the media, that suddenly is rhetoric telling you to go kill people? I don't think so. Yeah, there's one guy now, Chris Farrell, who is on... Yeah, Pat, I'll try to do that. I'll try to see where Gary put it. There's one guy that from the Judicial Watch, Chris Farrell, who was on with Lou Dobbs, who basically was talking about... he discussed the caravan of migrants and called it a criminal involvement on the part of leftist mobs. He's called it highly organized, very elaborate, sophisticated operation. And he said, I have that from the highest level of Guatemala government. A lot of these folks have affiliates to get money from Soros, occupied State Department, and that is a great, great concern. Now, they're trying to say that after he said that and he was talking about Soros, that's when Soros got, you know, his bomb, right, or his suspicious package. And now Fox Business is trying to say, oh, that's anti-Semitic talk. And so from now on, we're not going to have Chris Farrell back on. He's banned from Fox for life now. Let's see, Gary put that up from legalinsurrection.com. I don't know who Legal Insurrection is, and I don't know how reputable that site is, to be honest with you, Gary. So I would, if anybody else does, I would want to see it someplace else as well before I believe that statement. Gateway Pundit or Daily Caller put out article on proof Soros organizations giving money to the caravan. Oh, absolutely, Jerry. Fox is in mainstream media. Fox News has fallen. Fox News has fallen. If you're still believing Fox News is a conservative website, you know, a conservative station, they're not. They're not a conservative network. They have fallen. They're going by the way of Shepard Smith. They really are. I don't know where people like Sean Hannity are going to go. Yep, Fox is now trash, Chesney said. I don't know where Hannity's going to go. He needs to go somewhere and do his own thing or join somebody else. Emily's List is Soros Laundry Group. Yep. Soros may be Jewish, but it is about funding source. Emily's List is Soros Laundry Group. Wow, there's another bot. So anyway, I don't know what he's going to do. And I don't know what's going to happen because all of these groups, all of the conservatives are getting shut down. Gab is gone for several weeks. I listened to the Susan Network, Wayne said. Well, Susan's network hopes she doesn't get shut down. And again, I'm trying to do things that will kind of prevent things from happening in the future should we go that way. But that takes money, and I hate to bring up money again, but paypal.me/Susan Knowles would help. PayPal.me/Susan Knowles. Hey, Mighty Blessed One. Would help in trying to get things together. Hopefully trying to meet up over the summer. Bill, you know, my co-host on God's Views, trying to meet with you guys. Maybe, you know, having a show. Maybe having an ability to get together and pray. trying to find another platform in the event, like I get shut down on Twitter, or Periscope, or Facebook, or something like that. But that takes money. That's money that I don't have to put in towards getting that done. So I guess the donations are going to be a sort of a representation of how important that you guys think this show really is, and how important you think that God's Views really is. Now, that God's Views show over the weekend has gone, the last time I looked, which was before this show started today, it was at 4.2 thousand views. So the show is really gaining in popularity. And for Facebook, that might be a bad sign. That's where I share it, and so I don't know how long Facebook's going to let me do that. Anyway, tonight my show is going to be on mojo50.com at 9 o'clock Eastern. That's Stand for Truth with Susan Knowles. 9 o'clock Eastern tonight on mojo50.com. Hope you listen. Throughout the day, you will get my reality checks with Susan Knowles. It's a 90-second spot I do, and throughout the day on mojo50.com in Laughlin, Nevada for a meetup. Maybe, Wayne, it takes money, though. Chesney said, I'm out of money right now. At the first of the month, I'll be able to donate a few. Thank you. Mojo50 tonight at, 9, the number 9, 8-9, Carmen, number 9. God bless and have a great day, everyone. So it's 9 o'clock Eastern, and if you miss it there, always go to my Spreaker. Look up Stand for Truth Radio with Susan Knowles on Spreaker. You will get my shows there, my reality checks, and God's Views is there too. Or if you forget all of that, just go to susanknowles.com and you'll get everything is there. So, all right, everybody. God bless you. Take care. We'll talk again tomorrow. Every time I go to All right, everybody on YouTube. Thanks so much. God bless. Take care. We'll talk tomorrow.